Good morning, Big Brother fans. It is Friday, August 18th, day 17 in the Big Brother house for Big Brother 25. And we have a new head of household. Riley evicted unanimously last night. That was a bit of a surprise. I don't know, man. I guess I don't. Sympathy votes are, sympathy votes are one thing. What's the point? Matt was supposedly going to vote to keep her, but then he didn't. I guess she told him not to, and it's fine. I just hate unanimous votes because it's like, so let me throw a hinky vote in there. So let me do something to stir it up. It's just the unanimous vote is just so blah. And then we don't need 15 people? Yeah, 15 people, 14, whatever the number was, to go, well, I guess it was 12, to go in. God, that counted down quick. To go in and vote. The voting took, 15 minutes or something? Then we didn't have the head of household competition, which, as Mike Bloom pointed out, we've only had 2 head of households competitions on the show last season that were shown on the show and all the way to completion. So I'd have to look at that number to figure it out, because obviously we had one at the beginning of the season and we have one in the middle of a double eviction. So is that all we had, or were there other ones too, like quizzes at the end? But neither doesn't in the end, whatever. They didn't even show the beginning to it. We know the feeds came back right after the West Coast airing. And the shocking thing was that the winner was Felicia. So Felicia is the head of household. What? I have no idea. I haven't heard the details. I haven't heard we saw the teaser clip of what the comp was going to look like, but I don't know. She won it. We'll see it on Sunday. Let's not worry about the whys she won it or how she won it. Let's just talk about the fallout from her winning it, which is, I think this will happen. They're talking, and I see no reason for them to have a big swing. I have no reason for someone in the House to push for any other kind of agenda, since they were all anti-Heisem last week, and he's won every competition or placed second in almost virtually every competition. He's the target. I don't think he may sense it, but he doesn't want to believe it. He'll believe it probably. Well, he won't believe it tomorrow or today, because they're not going to nominate him. I think this is how it'll fall out. This is what they were talking about doing. Definitely, Suri is leading the push on this, but and I think Felicia will do it. And Felicia's not a dumb player; she's a very blunt player, but she will. She sounds like she's going to nominate Cameron and Jared. Their motivation on Jared is because he lied to them. I don't know what part of Jared lied about. I don't know which. They've got a reason and they're going to use it, and they figure it's a valid reason that Jared can't argue with. So Jared is going up as the proverbial pawn. Cameron is going up. They're going to, tell him that you're a strong player and we need you to win the power veto because we're going to backdoor Heisem. And if Jared doesn't win the power veto, sorry, buddy, you're going home. That's the quote plan, the idea, the thought. So that's it. I mean, it's kind of straightforward, probably. There's nobody, as I said, there's nobody that's going to come advocating for Heisem. He's may start to suspect, but nobody's going to entertain it or try to be on his side. So they're going to let it happen. So yeah, I'm anticipating, unless there's some twist, which there hasn't been a twist. What happened to the Bowie twist? I thought Bowie got to get rid of a vote. That's what they thought. So was there no twist when Bowie came back from the multiverse? Because she was the last one, and they thought that she had a power. Maybe she still has a power. And I was wrong. There was no big multiverse introduced, maybe, or was there? I don't know. Guys, I don't know. The multiverse thing is just as I tweeted out yesterday. It's just it's what they do every year now. They introduce some quote twist which is a way to. It used to be. It was the food competition killer. It was what they would do in place of the food competition every Friday. They would have something special happen on Fridays as a way to fill the time where they normally would have food competitions. So it's just filler. It doesn't hold any huge game-changing powers. And Julie didn't tease anything happening this week. We do have have-nots this week, by the way. I haven't looked this morning, but as of late last night, Matt, Red, and America were have-nots. Not sure how they got that. Sounded like Red may have been close to second in the head of household competition, but I'm just not sure how they got it, if they drew straws, if they were penalized for something, or if Felicia decided they were have-nots. I'm not sure, and it may be more than those three. There may be another have-not, but again, these are minor details in the whole grand scheme of things. This week's going to be all about backdooring, or trying to backdoor Heisem, and we'll see how that works out for them. Other things, the game, or the show last night, O'Reilly was fine. I just was frustrated that I realized at about 20 after that they were going way too slow to had a household competition on the feed. I just have to remind myself that I think I remember how the show goes, and then they change it, and I keep battling at all last season. I kept saying, okay, they'll do the head of household competition this time, and they never did. And then I kind of forgot about it, and I go back to the old, well, this is the way it used to be, and it isn't that way anymore. So what else to talk about as far as now, today, this morning? I can give a quick look over the alliances and kind of figure out what's going on. The house guests as far as their status. So the other thing to keep in mind is that Felicia, Izzy, and Suri had a conversation in the head of household. That's where they kind of talked about what they were going to do as far as lining up Heisem for a backdoor. And they kind of want to, in theory, go after this try to push the woman alliance thing. Felicia specifically kind of was talking to the camera afterwards about a woman, strong woman alliance. And it's like, okay, I mean, Taylor did win last year, and it wasn't obviously a strong woman alliance, but I'm not that women have not won. It hasn't been a 50-50 thing, but I don't know. I'm just like, if it gets up all women, great. I don't care. I don't care who wins. I really think it's shaping up to be a Suri kind of a thing. And again, I decided when I saw she was on the show that I'm like, whatever. I can hope for an all new house guests and no superstars coming on, but that's just not what they do. And they loved it. They loved the reveal last night of telling Riley that Jared was Suri's son. That is a priceless little thing that they will love to do every single episode or every single eviction. So, part of them's like, oh, we got to keep Suri around as long as possible. I'm not saying they actively do it, but I don't think they're going to be upset at all if that's how it works out. All right, so where is everybody stand in the house as far as alliances and stuff? Let me go over everybody's name, because I haven't done this yet this year, and it's worth a quick rundown for those of you that are curious or aren't watching very closely. America's a better player than I think a lot of people realize. She knows the game. You know who she reminds me of? And I can't think of her. Is it Paige? I can't think of her name. She was on Road Rules way back in the first season, I think, of Road Rules. And she's now like a sports journalist and stuff. She reminds me of her. When I've seen a couple of interviews with her, it's like, oh, that's who she kind of reminds me of. Which is just a thought, just popped into my head. I don't know if the name's not Paige. I don't remember what her name is now. I have to think of it. But anyways, America is in good shape. I think she's not going to be a target this week for sure. They're not going to go after any women. She's not seen, I think, as a very strong competitor. But I do think she knows the game, and I think she's going to last into the jury at least easily. because she's again not seen as a huge threat. Blue is seen as more of a threat to some people. She and Jag have been kind of close, and Jared has been kind of close to her. They've been a bit of a flirt-mance, and I don't know. I guess last night Izzy had some concerns or something, and Suri was waving them on, saying, no, they're not going to be anything. There's nothing going to happen. And somebody did mention last night that well, we saw a clip, or I shared a clip, maybe you hadn't seen it, of Jared yesterday or the day before kind of giving Blue the third degree about how many relationships she's been on, and not just romantic relationships, but how many, her count is I guess a term people are using now, her head count of men that she has been with, kind of a thing. And he was basically saying, obviously women, obviously people get together, but the woman that I end up with isn't going to have that big of a list of men that they've been with. That's what he said to her. And then he tried to get a number out of her in a roundabout way. And she just kind of looked at him and said, yeah, you're never getting a number out of me. And I just thought, and you just wrote yourself out of any kind of a chance of a relationship with this woman. They're not going to have a relationship. I mean, outside of the house. But just the fact that he was, I guess there'll be some women out there that'd be like, oh, I have to be honest with him and tell him. But I just found it, I just was like, dude. Obviously, if that's what if you want a woman who's willing to tell you how many men they've been with, then you're also, you're also expecting a certain type of woman who's going to be like, I need to tell him how many men I've been with. I don't know. I just saw it as he just kind of, it just wasn't a good thing to do. I didn't think it was good, but it is what it is. All right, I'll stop now. But someone said that something, oh, people really like Jared because he's got these strong Christian values. And that's maybe why Suri doesn't think that he's going to just hook up with anyone. And maybe he's got a relationship outside this house. I don't know. Either way, Blue is seen as a threat in some ways because she was involved with Jag and Riley, and so, but she's also a little bit safer because Jared likes her, right? So we got these different things going on. So Blue is okay right now, especially since they want to keep this set of households, this set ahead of households, because I'm going to include Suri and Izzy in it. They want to keep the women strong, so they're not going to go after a woman. All right, Corey. I haven't heard anything about Corey today or last night as far as being a target or anything. He's seen as an ally. He thinks he's in a super strong ally with Suri and Jared and is it Felicia, I think? Gosh, now I don't even remember. Oh, no, Izzy, Suri, Corey, and Jared have this alliance. They came up with a name too, and I can't remember what the name is, but it doesn't really matter. Oh, Crossroads, because it's not a real alliance. It's just a way to keep Corey close to them, right? Obviously, Felicia had a household. She's in good shape. Bowie is in an alliance with Felicia and in the Professor's alliance, right? So that alliance, even though they're going to go after one of their own, everybody else in that alliance is in pretty good shape. Cameron, we mentioned he's going to be going up as an alternative eviction. So, yeah, he's not in any good shape. He's not in a good way. He got lucky. He got kept around last night. So I would not anticipate right now him staying around. Although, maybe without Riley in the house, he won't be so focused on, that he'll have to broaden his relationships a little bit more. Not that he was super close with Riley the last few days, but leading up until that point, he was quite focused on her heavily before nominations last week. Heisam obviously is in trouble. He'll start to figure it out. He'll get a sense. I think he's already a little bit paranoid. And, that's going to be interesting to see what happens if he starts to panic or anything, or does they hold all they managed to keep it all a secret until Monday, assuming that everything goes as expected. Because remember, Heisem could, let's say that this goes the way they're talking about, he could still get to play in the power veto as a draw, right? And so if he gets to play in the power veto as a draw, he could still win it, and then he's safe. Correct? Yes. Izzy safe this week with Felicia. No problems. She isn't getting the exposure everyone kind of thinks she should be getting on the TV show. They think she's got a lot of everyone has assumed that she's been awesome in the diary room. Maybe she's not that great in the diary room. Maybe what we see of her in the house is not who she is in the diary room, right? Maybe she's actually playing a character in the house where she's a little bit overexcited and a little bit intense, and then when she gets in the diary room, she mellows out, because her diary rooms have been fairly tame, it seems. Jag's in trouble. Jag is definitely, I think he moved up to the top of the leaderboard of the other side of the house to Felicia and Suri and Izzy and Jag and Jared when Riley went out. So he's got something to worry about. I don't think he's going this week, but there's always that possibility, and we can play it out that Heisem wins the power veto and decides to save Cameron, right? That could happen, in which case somebody else will get put up, and Jag might be the obvious one to go after then at that point. Matt's apparently really hung up on Riley. I saw a clip this morning where a couple of ladies were talking about how shook up Matt is over Riley leaving, and he's been crying and he's upset. I think he was attracted to her. He did have a strong bond with her. They did spend a lot of late nights together. There was nothing romantic. It was not they were not romantically involved, although, again, Matt did tell her he found her attractive. She kind of gave him the brush off when he told her that, but she did hug him. They did have a strong bond. But I have a feeling, he had said, and they showed it on the show last night, he said she kept him up to date and she filled him in on stuff. So I think it's as much of a loss of a teammate, a partner, someone that he was attracted to, as it is also someone who helped him in the game and helped keep him filled in on a lot of things that he might be missing, because he cannot hear every conversation that's going on that a normal, sorry, use the word normal, but that a person with a regular level of hearing would be able to keep tabs on. Nicole, strong player, not strong this week. No, nothing going on this week that's going to be like, she's not going to put herself in any kind of harm's way. I don't think she's going to have any problem with Heisem this week. Although definitely if she does have a problem with it, we'll hear about it, because she likes to express herself in the storage room. So we'll have to see how she reacts once she's looped in, and maybe she's already been looped in. I didn't catch it. I didn't catch it over late night stuff, because once the feeds came back and I knew that Felicia had won it, I didn't hang around too long, because I kind of had a sense of where things might be going, and that's certainly where they did end up going last night. Let's see who else. Red put a bit of a target on his back by coming in second to Felicia, maybe, but I think he's okay. I don't think he's seen as a threat. He's also in the Professor Alliance, so he's okay. And that is it, everybody. Suri's doing fine. Suri's going to be peachy keen, no problems at all. And I don't know when people are when people are going to go after her. At some point, Corey's going to say she's got to go. Problem is, he's going to express that to Jared, which is going to put up Corey. Corey's on a target to get out. And I think at some point they're going to get rid of Izzy, just because Izzy is she knows about Jared and Suri, and they just can't. That can't be going on. So that will happen at some point. They'll slip her out the door, and she'll go quietly because she's a loyal teammate probably, and she'll want to see them succeed. I think she'll just go like, oh yeah, well, I got to play with you guys and all that. But so yeah, they've looped her in now as she's family, so she won't rat out the family. And that's it, guys. I have been through everything. It is a Friday. We may or may not talk to you until Monday, but of course I am online. I am available via email. And again, it's very possible I pop on and do one of these at some point with a brief update if something major happens. I'm just not anticipating anything major. We kind of know what's going to happen. I don't think there's any more house guests going into the house. I don't think there's a twin twist. None of that stuff that we kind of speculated on actually ended up being true. It's pretty much a 17-member season. And we're at day 17. So we're now we're 83. We're like right on the verge of when Big Brother 24 started, how many days were left. We still have an entire Big Brother 24 season to go. And we're down to 14 house guests. Yeah, that's an old school season number of house guests. So, yeah. All right, going to be interesting, guys. We'll talk to you all later. Thanks for your support, and have a good Friday and weekend. Bye-bye.